Today I'll be showing you on how to get started with Python as a beginner. I'm using Python 3.14 in this video and VS Code as my editor. Let's go. These are some of the most commonly used data types in Python. Integer represents numbers, string represents characters, and bool represents true or false. Bool has only two options. Now we will print these. We can access the terminal by going to the right and clicking this button, Run Python file in dedicated terminal. We can also access it using the shortcut key Control plus F5 in Windows or Command plus F5 in Mac. Here, the integer value 10 has been printed, which corresponds to line 4. The string value TechGirl rules is printed, which corresponds to line 5. And the Boolean value true has been printed, which corresponds to line 6. We can also print multiple integers or multiple strings together. Here, 10 plus 10 is printed. Similarly, we can also print multiple strings together. Here, our given string on line 8 has been printed. But keep in mind that we cannot print integers and strings together unless and until we have converted the form. Here, if I click Run, it will give me an error because integers and string data types cannot be added together. See. Now, the solution to this could be converting one of the data types into the other. This would convert the number 10 into a string. Now, printing this would not give an error. See, this is the output we get in correspondence to line 9. A string is basically any set of characters that are bounded by the commas, either single or double. This variable house has a string data type and it contains all alphabets, numbers, and characters. Let's print this. Now we will head on to the logic statements. Here, the if statement offers a condition. If the chapters left are greater than 5, the system will print you are way behind the curriculum. If the chapters left are equal to 5, the system will print you are following the curriculum. And any condition which does not follow these two statements will lead to the system printing you are ahead of the curriculum. The variable selected contains the number 4, which will lead to the system printing you are ahead of the variable. So now let's print it. It printed you are ahead of the curriculum because the variable we chose had the number 4. Now, if we change the number from 4 to 5, it is supposed to print you are following the curriculum. Now let's check. Yeah, it did print it you are following the curriculum. Now, let's change the number to something which is greater than 5. Let's say 9. As expected, it printed you are way behind the curriculum. Now let's move to the next topic, which is for loop. First of all, we'll talk about the inbuilt function range. For example, if we give the value 5 to the function range, it will include all the numbers from 0 to 5. Here, it indicates that it does include all the numbers from 0 to 5. Now, we will use this function range in our for loops. Here, our command hi is printed 5 times. Now, by increasing the number in the range, we can print it even more times. For example, if I take 10 instead of 5, it will print our command hi 10 times. Now we will head on to the while loops. It will print the numbers from 4 to 0 in a descending order. We can include the number 5 in it by moving the statement down. Now we have the descending order from 5 to 1. Now we will head on to functions. For functions, we use the keyword def. We can name it anything. I'll name this function goodbye. We can also add arguments. Here, I'm adding the argument name. The purpose of the functions is to reuse the code. We can call a function multiple times. I'll be calling it 3 times, each with a different name. Now, upon running, we could see that the function was executed 3 times. So this was a very basic beginner tutorial for you to get a little understanding of Python. Thank you for watching.